What's up everyone, it's Nick again and I'm back with another video. And before we begin, please remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell button. Also, prayers for Klay Thompson. As soon as he's ready to come back from his ACL tear, torn Achilles, it's just devastating. Even though I'm a Lakers fan, I was really looking forward to seeing the Splash Brothers back on the court. And no more Klay Thompson now, so... Well, I do think the Warriors are going to make the playoffs as long as Steph is healthy. And with Steph back, I do think that Draymond's at least going to be effective again. I don't know about becoming an all-star again, though. They're still not getting past the Lakers anyways. Sorry, they're not getting past LeBron and AD. LeBron and AD are a better duo than Steph and Klay. Even if Klay is healthy, it just is what it is. And that's not being biased, that's just how it is. A move the Warriors did make, though, to fill in the void for Klay, though. They got Kelly Oubre for, guess what? Because it was from the Thunder. The Thunder got another first-round pick. They're really loading up on those first-round picks. But I'm actually not really here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. So, before we get going, cue the intro. So last year during the offseason, the Sixers were making a bunch of really dumb moves, and honestly, I thought that as a result of their stupidity from last year, that they're screwed. But Daryl Morey's here now, and he's cleaning up that mess. From Al Horford getting that really bad contract, and also giving Tobias Harris a max contract as soon as free agency started, because that was obviously a panic move, and letting JJ Redick walk when he's someone who can space the floor. Oh, and I definitely can't forget about Jimmy Butler. Now, even though Robert Covington and Dario Saric may have been a better fit with Ben Simmons, since Jimmy Butler is not a three-point shooter, with a more competent coach, you could have made it work, because Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo on the floor together wasn't such a problem, because Eric Spoelstra is a damn good coach and Brett Brown is not. And also, even though Jimmy Butler is not a threat from outside, he's a leader, plays hard, a great two-way player, and he's clutch. Also an underrated facilitator. We saw what he did in the bubble. What he did in the bubble did convince me that he is a superstar, because non-superstars can't do what he did in the bubble. The Sixers definitely lost that sign and trade, and that's just another black mark on last year's offseason. And then you got Josh Richardson, who's not a sharpshooter like JJ Redick, and you need sharpshooters around Ben Simmons. So what the Sixers had was just a really, really bad fit. But now Daryl Morey's here to clean up that mess. And I actually honestly thought that they may be better off building around Ben Simmons than Joel Embiid. But now that Al Horford's gone, they can now have Tobias Harris as a stretch four like he should be, because he is a stretch four in today's NBA, not a small forward. And now that they got Danny Green and Seth Curry, two really good shooters. And by the way, I know people are going to talk about Danny Green's bricks in the playoffs, but if you watch the Lakers in the regular season, you saw that Danny Green really was a legit 3-and-D guy. But anyways, so yeah, the Sixers got their floor spacing back, and they dumped Al Horford's terrible contract. Now, Danny Green, yes, he's still overpaid, but at least he can space the floor, and also he's only barely making more than half of what Al Horford is making, and he's in the last year of his contract, so not really a big concern. And Seth Curry is also cheaper than Josh Richardson. So Daryl Morey, just within days, he's already doing a great job cleaning up the mess. And the only thing that makes me not confidently say that the Sixers are the team to beat in the East is that I'm still low on Doc Rivers. Fun fact, he's blown a 3-1 lead in each of the last 3 presidencies. We'll see what happens with Biden. And no, the election was not rigged, you idiots who claim it is. But anyways, yeah, so Doc Rivers is just someone that I'm not high on. I mean, he could be there to set a culture for the Sixers. I'll give him that. He's just not a good X's and O's guy. Perhaps he could be like a bridge coach, like a guy who really is there for the X's and O's, like Dwayne Casey was for Nick Nurse and Mark Jackson was for Steve Kerr. The only difference is Doc Rivers has a lot of prior coaching experience, unlike Nick Nurse and Steve Kerr had. Well, Nick Nurse was an assistant coach, or also Dwayne Casey and Mark Jackson didn't have coaching experience either before they became the bridges to the championship teams. Overall, I really like what the Sixers are doing, and they get an A for me for how they've done in the offseason. While the Sixers very much get an A for how they've done in the offseason so far, though, I'm sorry, they're not beating the Lakers in the finals. Don't at me. If they do make it to the finals, I'm sorry, but first of all, Frank Vogel's a really good coach. Secondly, LeBron and AD are both better than Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Like, it's not even a discussion. And they just got a scoring boost in Dennis Schroeder. And as for Avery Bradley, KCP, and Rondo opting out, I don't expect them to bring back Rondo. KCP and Avery Bradley, unsure, but I think that the Lakers are going to bring back one or the other. But I know that they got their rings now and they want to get paid in. I don't blame them. But I really do think that either KCP or Avery Bradley is going to come back. But with the best duo in the NBA, back to back, here we come. But in the Eastern Conference, I'm still not totally confident that the Sixers are going to make it to the finals. I'm still not confident that they're going to beat the Bucks or the Heat or even the Celtics. Now, while I do think Mike Budenholzer's overrated, still, they have Giannis, and they made a big upgrade by bringing in Drew Holiday and trading Eric Bledsoe. Now, Bogdanovic, yeah, there's something going on with that, and I don't know. I mean, as of now, I just know that the trade was called off because Bogdan didn't agree to it, so I don't know. But as for the Raptors, though, I do think that even though Nick Nurse coaches circles around Doc Rivers, Embiid and Simmons are easily better than Pascal Siakam or anyone else on the Raptors, obviously, if they're better than Pascal. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, the Raptors just don't have the players to overcome the Sixers, even though they have a much better coach. And the Celtics, yeah, again, Brad Stevens coaches circles around Doc Rivers. And the Celtics have star power too. Jason Tatum is getting towards superstar status now. And Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker are there too. Now, as for Gordon Hayward, he opted out. I mean, that's crazy that he'd opt out with and leave that much money on the table when he should know he's never going to get paid like that again. But the Celtics still have their top three players and Brad Stevens. Even though Brad Stevens got severely outcoached in the conference finals, it was Eric Spoelstra that outcoached him. And as for the Heat, yeah, Eric Spoelstra is going to be the difference. And also, they're as confident as can get right now because they took the Lakers to 6 games in the finals. And they upset the Bucks and the Celtics on their way to the finals. Jimmy Butler, for what he did in the bubble, yeah, he's a superstar in my eyes. So yeah, that's why I'm still not confident that the Sixers are the team to beat even in the East right now. But Sixer fans should be a lot happier right now than they were before Daryl Morey took over, or better yet, a lot happier than they were 48 hours ago. So that's the end of this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.